During this week's Raw, WWE appeared to shockingly reveal a significant AAA Mega Championship title change before it happens, and now it looks like they're trying to cover their tracks. During the international broadcast of Raw on Netflix, promotional material aired for the upcoming WWE X AAA Worlds Collide event, showing El Hijo del Vikingo versus Chad Gable, with the AAA Mega Championship listed as being on the line. This will come as a surprise to AAA fans because Alberto Del Rio is currently the title holder and is set to defend it against Vikingo in the near future. Fortunately for WWE, fans in Mexico were not treated to the same version. The title detail was removed from the on-screen graphic as WWE geolocated the image, so the title match wording was only available outside that region. Regardless of that attempt, it was still a ridiculous idea on WWE's behalf, and to no surprise, the strategy didn't work. Fans in Mexico are aware of international broadcasts and some pirate streams and use alternative means. The power of social media is also massive, and the news quickly went viral on X, meaning fans in Mexico have now seen the news and seemingly had the match spoiled for them. Vikingo is featured prominently in marketing materials for the June 7th event, and with Alberto El Patron not advertised for the crossover show, many now believe it's a foregone conclusion that Vikingo will reclaim the AAA Mega Championship before facing Gable. Does WWE's effort to hide the spoiler actually backfire, or was this just a sloppy mistake? Please share your thoughts and feedback in the comments section below. Finn Balor's been showing his battle wounds following Monday Night Raw's main event this week, revealing that he suffered a minor eye injury during his Money in the Bank qualifier, which he suffered after being on the receiving end of a brutal curb stomp onto a chair. During the latest WrestleVotes Q&A show, the insider revealed that Balor is set to be on his way out of the Judgment Day. Don't think they, Liv and Raquel, are going to leave the group as is. I think both of them and Carlito and JD are going to stay together. Finn may be the odd man out, so we'll see. Tensions have been rising within the group recently, especially as Balor decided to throw Roxanne Perez into the mix, which could lead to his removal from the group. Do you believe Balor will be thrown out of the Judgment Day, or do you see him finding a way to salvage his status? WWE recently confirmed the return of the Evolution PLE, much to the joy of the WWE Universe. According to Corey Hayes of PWN, the company is already planning a massive match for that show. Bayley hasn't been seen since she was shockingly attacked backstage at WWE WrestleMania 41. Still, the company is discussing bringing her back in a bid to get revenge against Becky Lynch in what would be a monumental singles match for the show. Would you like to see the Four Horsewomen members go to battle at Evolution, and do you believe this is the right event for that match? Let us know in the comments below. When it comes to wrestling legends, there are a few names more notable than Goldberg, and fans have been patiently waiting for him to return after he made it clear there are plans in place for him to have his retirement match this year. The WWE Hall of Famer spoke to the Claw Pod about the situation and teased fans about what's to come. He said, "Before I go, just a little tease. There is one thing that I can say about my match, and that is I will proudly be let out by my son." He has previously revealed he's getting ready for the blockbuster match that he expected to happen at some point prior to the end of 2025, while also saying, "I do not know who, when, or where I'm wrestling, but Goldberg has made it clear that it is happening." Atlanta, Georgia is rumored to be where his final match will happen on July 12th. This is the same day as AEW All In Texas, which lines up with Ringside News' report and would be a huge counter-programming move against the competition. Undoubtedly, Goldberg's retirement match will be a big moment in wrestling history. His son's involvement makes it even more special and emotional, so we'll just have to wait and see how it turns out. Do you believe Goldberg should win his upcoming retirement match? How do you think his son's involvement will affect the match? Sound off in the comments section below. When it comes to the future of wrestling, Stephanie Vaquer and Jordynne Grace delivered an instant classic at WWE Battleground in Tampa, Florida, showcasing what lies ahead for the business. The two women put on a brutal back-and-forth showdown that had the crowd erupting in chants of "holy shit." Vaquer won what many are calling the best match of the weekend, but the defeat has left everyone wondering what's next for Jordynne Grace, who at one point had so much hype surrounding her. During Fightful Select's Report podcast, Sean Ross Sapp revealed that WWE has no intention of moving Grace to the main roster anytime soon, and she'll remain in NXT to help the women develop. WWE wants Grace and Vaquer to elevate the division with their versatile abilities. Both women are at the top of their game right now and can work any style, which is why WWE is looking for them to help the NXT stars. Julia already made the leap to the main roster quickly, but Grace must showcase patience as WWE sees tremendous value in her being a driving force for the NXT women's division. Now the question goes to you. Should Jordynne Grace stay in NXT to lead the charge and shape the future of the women's division, or is it for her to make a statement on Raw or SmackDown? Sound off in the comments below and let us know your take. Ricky Saints is another name for the future of professional wrestling, and he's been one of the fastest rising stars in NXT since he made the jump from AEW. Shortly after debuting, he defeated Shawn Spears to become the North American champion, and his early success in the company garnered a lot of attention, particularly from his fellow former AEW star Ethan Page. The two men even faced off for the NXT North American title at Stand and Deliver. However, it was the 35-year-old who came out on top, but despite that, Page wasn't done with him as Page attacked Saints several weeks ago, which set up a title match this week on NXT. NXT opened with this match, and they didn't waste any time in getting down to business. They attacked each other and brawled before the bell even rang. Security dragged them apart as the fans frantically chanted "let them fight," and that's precisely what happened, but security had to get involved just minutes later when they both tried to use weapons. With the WWE fanbase in a frenzy, Ava came out and said they wanted a winner. While the match didn't become a no DQ, the announcers confirmed the referee was given more discretion. Both men flew over the announce table as they brawled, and security got involved again. However, Page spiked Saints onto a steel chair, leaving him gasping for air. It was a brutal and dangerous spot that led the referees, trainers, and even the commentary team showcasing real concern for Saints' well-being, as Vic Joseph pointed out that if a man cannot breathe, then he cannot fight. We hope that Ricky Saints is alright after this serious-looking spot. WWE did everything it could to make this match feel like it was about more than just the title, and it worked. This felt like a bitter rivalry that could only end with one man going to the hospital. Saints managed to kick out of the ego's edge, but Page still beat him in the end to become the new North American champion. His aggressive attitude was the difference maker. Ethan Page has been one of the most consistently entertaining performers in NXT. With his recent rise, the company may believe the North American title will look much better around his waist at the moment. This was a very fun match that set the tone for the entire show, but it would be better served in the main event slot. Page came out to celebrate winning the title, but he quickly learned that being a champion means you always have a target on your back, as he was interrupted by Javon Evans, Laredo Kid from AAA, and Ray Phoenix, who also appeared as a fatal four-way for the belt was teased for Worlds Collide. This will provide a brand new challenge for Page, but Laredo Kid is someone he might be familiar with as he made a few appearances for AEW and worked a match in WWE long ago without a mask on. NXT didn't just feature surprise appearances in the men's division, as Jazmyn Nix made her return to TV on the May 27th episode, standing by Jacy, Jayne, and Fallon Henley as the trio prepared for Jayne's NXT Women's title match against Stephanie Vaquer. Nix had been off television for several weeks, but she's now back alongside Fatal Influence on an important night for the group. Jayne cut a promo aimed at Vaquer ahead of their title clash, with Nix and Henley flanking her in a sign that the group is once again operating at full strength. It marked Nix's first NXT appearance since her brief stint at TNA Rebellion, where Fatal Influence made a crossover appearance. Jayne had confronted Stephanie Vaquer at NXT's Battleground and slapped her in the face, which led to a title match being set up between them. This continued Vaquer's run as a fighting champion, having defended the title several times against Julia, Jaida Parker, Roxanne Perez, and even Jordynne Grace. During this week's title bout, Jayne and Fallon Henley got into a bit of an argument, and they even shoved Jazmyn Nix to the floor, seemingly teasing their inability to work as a group. However, as it seemed like things were about to implode between Fatal Influence, they came together in the end. It was revealed earlier in the night that Vaquer and Lola Vice will team up to take on AAA's Chica Tormenta and Dallas Lake Carabena at Worlds Collide next weekend, and the women interfered in the match until Vice drove them off. Nix distracted the referee while Fallon Henley hit Stephanie with a 619-like move. This allowed Jacy Jayne to pin Vaquer and become the new NXT Women's Champion, which was a shocking conclusion to the show that few people saw coming. Now it remains to be seen who will be the first in line to challenge Jacy for the NXT Women's Championship. Other than the interference, this was a solid match. Jayne has developed into a talent who can work with anyone, and Vaquer continues to prove why she belongs at the top of the mountain. What did you think of the surprise result, and do you believe Jayne has what it takes to be a memorable NXT Women's Champion? Let us know in the comments below. Most wrestling fans know Mike Santana. He first made his name in TNA wrestling before joining AEW, where he became part of Chris Jericho's Inner Circle stable. Santana was a prominent figure during the early days of All Elite Wrestling. However, as his bookings dwindled, he left the company in 2024 and returned to TNA Wrestling, where he has been a prominent singles star. Due to the Stanford-based promotions partnership with TNA Wrestling, Mike Santana appeared at Battleground 2025, where the No Quarter Catch crew interrupted his interview. Santana had challenged a group member to a match this week, and Tavion Heights was the man who stepped up to the challenge, leading to Santana's WWE debut. This ended up being a highly physical and competitive encounter. Both men showed their versatility with a combination of agility and power on display. Heights put up a good fight, but Santana was able to get the win with a spinning clothesline as the former AEW star showcased himself, even if the match was less than perfect. However, Charlie Dempsey looked furious, which suggested that this situation is far from over. Chelsea Green might spend her time delivering the unprettier on her fellow WWE superstars, but it was she who was left with blood pouring from her face at Saturday night's main event this past weekend. That's because she suffered a brutal broken nose after being caught with a knee flush to the face after Zelina Vega's 619 attempt. Dave Meltzer has revealed that Green isn't expected to miss any time on television, but confirmed that it was a clean break of the nose during their Women's United States title match. The battle between WWE and AEW has raged ever since Tony Khan opted to launch his own company, but that will intensify in the coming months. During Wrestling Observer Live, Brian Alvarez revealed that there will be at least 2 more times when WWE and AEW go head-to-head during long weekends. This is in the wake of the news that Saturday night's main event on July 12th will happen on the same day as AEW's All in Texas, while WWE already held NXT Battleground against AEW's Double or Nothing. WWE is clearly looking to run out the competition and put its stamp on the world of professional wrestling, but whether this strategy pays off for WWE remains to be seen. Wrestling fans are now convinced that WWE has taken a shot at AEW with their pre-sale code ahead of the Summer Showdown. This will see the company run 3 shows across 2 venues on July 12th and 13th, with Saturday night's main event, Evolution, and the Great American Bash all taking place. Not only will WWE be competing against AEW's All in Texas that weekend, but WWE has now made a subtle dig at Tony Khan with its pre-sale code ALLWWE. Speaking of AEW, Hangman Page recorded one of the biggest wins of his career at Double or Nothing, defeating Will Ospreay to become the #1 contender for the show. This victory was the result of a secretive decision-making process that even caught insiders off guard. According to Fightful Select, AEW and Tony Khan intentionally kept the result a secret for weeks, but both men were informed earlier in the weekend. In a selfish industry, both Ospreay and Page took a unique approach by pushing for the other one to go over behind the scenes, highlighting the mutual respect between them. Jon Moxley is now set for a brutal and physical encounter against Hangman Page, and even he was said to be leaning towards wanting that outcome. Backstage, the feeling was one of shock, as many within AEW expected Ospreay to take the victory. However, after a hard-hitting match, that wasn't the case, although both men were able to come out on the other side healthy. Do you think AEW made the right call going with Hangman Page over Will Ospreay, or should Ospreay have taken the victory? Please share your thoughts and feedback in the comments section below. It was a Sunday to remember for Trick Williams this past week as he won the TNA World title from Joe Hendry, and he was out to celebrate this week on NXT. Williams hinted at a heel turn by telling fans they didn't appreciate him, so he went to TNA to work there instead. This led to Santana coming out to give him props, but he said Trick is not his champion. He clarified that Williams made a bad impression by trying to tear down TNA in his promo. He called Trick a pretender. TNA's Santino Marella then appeared and revealed that Williams' first title defense will be against Santana, setting things up for Williams' immediate future. It was a relatively standard promo segment to set up a title match, but it was perfectly fine, even though Williams' attempt to be a heel felt a little forced. What's your take on Trick Williams as TNA World Champion? Do you think he'll hold the title for long? Let us know what you think in the comments section. NXT's women's division has been a highlight for the brand in recent months, and that continued this week with Tatum Paxley facing Jaida Parker in singles action after a backstage issue last week. Paxley has been very emotional lately after Gigi Dolan was released and Shotzi went off the radar, leaving her alone to fend for herself. That's precisely what she did, as she and Parker had a competitive encounter, but Parker only added to Paxley's issues as she distracted her with one of her dolls to hit a finish and get the win. Parker's celebrations were short-lived though, as Thea Hale attacked her after the match to continue the issues within the division. There wasn't much to this match, but it had good energy and made Parker look tough. NXT is all about the future, and that was never clearer than this week as WWE LFG Season 1 winner Jasper Troy made his debut against Dante Chen. Troy made an impact when he attacked Obafemi recently, and he was looking to prove he deserved to go after a champion by dominating his first opponent. The match was brief and only lasted a few minutes, but it was a showcase for Troy, who controlled the pace and won with the Black Hole Slam despite a brief comeback attempt from Chen. Femi's music hit and he appeared in the crow's nest. He said Troy's 5 seconds of fame are over, so they will obviously have a match soon. NXT is known for its over-the-top characters, and Tony D'Angelo falls into that category perfectly, which was clear this week as his dramatic gangster side was on full display. Tensions boiled over as D'Angelo came face-to-face with Luca Crusifino after their fallout at Battleground, when the latter attempted to get involved in D'Angelo's match. His interference cost them that day, and Tony refused to let that slide. He shut down Luca's apology attempts with firm authority, telling him, "I can't trust anybody right now." NXT constantly creates issues between talent across the roster, and that was clear when Cal Dixon and Uriah Connors were shown misunderstanding what Andre Chase told them about taking risks. They're now going to face Dark State next week. What did you make of this week's episode of NXT? Let us know in the comments below. A positive health update within AEW was revealed by Conrad Thompson, who took to Twitter to announce that Jim Ross underwent successful surgery on his colon cancer. The podcast host revealed that JR's doctors are hopeful that they were able to remove all of the cancer, as he asked fans to keep the legendary commentator in their thoughts and prayers. In a sad turn of events, Rick Derringer, the musician forever tied to pro wrestling's golden era through Hulk Hogan's iconic entrance theme, has passed away at the age of 77. Wrestling fans around the world will never forget Derringer as the man behind the iconic Real American theme, which defined Hulkamania during Hogan's prime years in the WWF. Derringer co-wrote the song, which appeared on the Wrestling album in 1985, with this going on to become one of the most recognizable songs in wrestling history. However, his work with the business didn't end there, as his contributions continued, as Derringer co-wrote Demolition's entrance theme, while he served as a producer on both the Wrestling album and Piledriver, the Wrestling album 2. His music helped shape the soundtrack of 80s wrestling for an entire generation, but he will always be remembered as the voice behind the red and yellow of Hulk Hogan.